I talk about what is shared drive, first I think it's better to talk about what is networking, what is the purpose of networking. So the purpose of networking is to communicate smart devices with one another, whether they're using the local area network, wide area network, campus area network, or cloud area network. Because the purpose of networking is to share the resources with one another. Then it comes to the shared drive. Shared drive is one of another portion of the sharing resource that we call a shared drive. Especially, for example, the reason which we have a shared drive is that in the previous time, most of the folks were using a USB portable hard drive. From one office to another office, from one department to another department, from one organization to another organization, especially if they had a two computer, for example, one at the office, another at the home. So they were using the portable hard drive or portable pen drive or flash drive or whatever you name it. So that was not safe from security standpoint, from virus standpoint, from malware standpoint, from ransomware standpoint. So because if your computer at home is infected with a virus and when you plug your USB to that computer, means it's okay. For example, I do remember back on 2010, 2011, at that time we had a virus by the name of new folder, if any one of you all remember. On top of that, we have another virus by the name of recycle bin or something. But yes, these two viruses was very graspable. It was very graspable virus. I do remember one time I plugged a pen drive, and when I plug it to my another computer infected with the both new folder and recycle bin virus as well. So that is why most of the time what I suggest and the purpose of shared drive is to have a one pure clean shared drive within your local area network, on the same floor that you are working, on the same local area that you are working with one another. And we do have a centralized resource, or we can say is a one source of the file and folder for the entire department, for the entire organization, whether it is in the cloud or in the local area network. Because now a shared drive is divided in two categories. One is local area network and another is a cloud area network. Such as Google Plus, Dropbox, or OneDrive, so on. I mean, any types of storage that you're using which is not storing in your computer on the local area network, we call it cloud storage. With the local area network, we do have a file server. For example, with the Microsoft, we have a file server, we have a DFS, DFSR, and we have a lot of, with the Linux operating system, we have a lot of like FreeNAS. We have many other equivalent services, which is open source and closed source as well. With the Mac OS, we do have a shared drive as well. Yes, it is safe. It is safe if you know the types of network data. It's very interesting. What I'm suggesting, that if you're new and you don't know what to do, for example, what I noticed, some of the companies, small company, they don't have a shared drive. They do, but they have a one public shared drive, which is not safe, and they are sharing the most important data through that public folder. So let me talk about the three types of network data that we have. Overall, it's not a cybersecurity, because cybersecurity data is different than network. Network is it's raw, means it is what it is. There is a restriction, but not too much. Overall, we have three types of network data. If you know the types of data, then yes, I can say the shared drive is safe. If you don't know this hierarchical design, of course, it is not safe. First of all, we have a personal data within our network. We have a personal data, means that you don't want to disclose your data with no one in your department. This is called the personal data within your network. I try my best to see if I can show you how you can access the personal data through your network as well. It is available. It's not something to hack or something, but yes, it is possible to access your personal data through the network, because I mentioned, if you remember, we have three types of network data. The second type of data is a restricted data. So you need to make sure when you have a file server or any types of resource that you want to share with your colleagues, with your team, with your organization, with your department, you have to make sure you need to classify your data in these three categories. The first thing that I say, that's a personal data that you don't want to disclose with anyone, and the second is a restricted data. For example, we have a HR department, IT department, and finance department. So now, for example, it's very simple. You have a three folder, and these three folders is restricted. For example, IT people or folks will only access the IT folder. HR folks or people who are working in HR department, they are only allowed to access the HR department and finance department. The finance employee will be allowed to access only the finance folder. So this is restricted. So what does it mean? It is shared but not with anyone. It is shared with some of the people. This is called a restricted data. To the network. And the last but not least, as most of you are aware of this kind of data, we have a public data. Public data is a general resource. For example, one public data, there's no restriction. It's not read, write, execute. Everyone has a full access. You can add, remove, delete, modify, execute, so on. This is a public data. For example, you had a picnic or you went to overseas and you took some picture and you want to share with your colleagues, with your friend, with your organization, with whoever you want to share. That is called a public data, and everyone can access it. So what I'm suggesting, if this topic was new for you, now your responsibility is to make your data in three categories: personal data and restricted data and public data. It's very, very important for all of you. As I mentioned, that we have two types of storage right now. We have a local area network storage, and we have a local area network storage, and we have a cloud area storage as well. So in the cloud, if you want to put your stuff on the cloud, so that is a cloud area network. But if you want to put in the local area network, this is called the local area network. For example, we have a file sharing. I have mentioned we have the FTP server, TFTP server. We have many types of file sharing. Even you don't have to purchase a Microsoft server. You don't have to purchase a paid version of operating system. You can find through open source operating systems such as Linux operating system. I don't mean Red Hat, but yes, most of the Linux operating system is free except the Red Hat. Okay guys, I hope the information was very helpful. If you think it was very helpful, I need your support as well by simply clicking the subscription button, and thank you for those who subscribe my channel. Until next time, stay safe, be brave, and of course see you next time, and have a good one all of you.